Today on Good Morning Maine, the very latest on a deadly mass shooting in Lewiston.
Plus a look at some of the many new laws that are now in effect in Maine. And
the Ethics Commission decides whether to take action against the Maine Senate President following a complaint. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
I'm Craig Colson. Let's get right into it.
Yep. All right. We've seen them happen throughout the nation, hoping it would never happen here in Maine. Often folks not really imagining it could happen here in Maine. Breaking overnight at about 7 p.m., a mass shooting in Lewiston has killed as many as 20 people and left many injured. Numbers seem to be around 50 injured people. A massive manhunt is now underway to find the man responsible.
Police are investigating incidents at multiple locations and are telling local residents to shelter in place. Our team has been covering the situation throughout the night. Reporter Devin Dagnall is standing by in Lewiston this morning and joins us now live with the very latest. Devin, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Emma and Craig. I'm on Main Street in Lewiston, and the city is beginning to wake up. What we know about the situation currently is investigators are searching for 40-year-old Robert Card of Bowden, following two shootings, one at the Schmenge's restaurant and another at Spare Time Recreation, which is just down the road from this police block behind me. Investigators have not released an official death toll yet, but we have received reports that over 20 were killed in the shooting and another 50 injured. Once again, that is not confirmed by state police yet. It is all speculation at this time. There have also been reports that Robert Card's vehicle was found in Lisbon at Miller Park. Shelter-in-place orders have been issued for the area, and the investigation is ongoing. The whereabouts of Card are unknown. He's considered armed and dangerous at this time. There was a press conference last night from Maine State Commissioner. Let's see what he had to say. Okay. We'll get that information to you later. What we know right now is there will be a press conference later today at 10:30. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Back to you, Emma and Craig.
We will hear from the Public Safety Commissioner in a little while. What can you've been up here all night long. What can you tell us about the guy? What was his name? Robert Card?
Yes. So what Devin was talking about, what we were supposed to see was from the Maine Public Safety Commissioner, Michael Saschuk. He held a press conference last night at around 11 p.m. To address the fact that these national and local news organizations that are saying 16 to 22 people have been killed with 50+ injuries, they are not confirming that. Other media outlets are saying that they confirmed on their own with public officials, but we cannot confirm that because this one press release, this one press conference that was held, they could not confirm that. They did not confirm any amount of casualties. All they're saying is that this is a shelter in place for the Lisbon and Lewiston area and surrounding areas. There's a lot of school cancellations right now, mostly in southern Maine. But no, so Robert Card, he's 40 years old. He's from Bowden. We will get into a story that kind of details him a bit more. But there's a lot of concerns about his mental health and his background. He is it's alleged that he's a certified arms instructor. That's what we've been hearing. So he the other key thing is that the Maine Public Safety Commissioner, Michael Saschuk, has said that he is a person of interest. He's not being considered a suspect for any reason. Person of interest. So nothing has been known for sure for about the 11 hours since this occurred.
Yeah, they did release a photo of him. We can show that to you. I don't think we've shown that yet, but this is a picture of him when he walked inside one of the facilities there, and it looked like some kind of an assault rifle. I was reading this morning that he was committed for a couple of weeks this summer because of mental health problems. He said that he had been hearing voices telling him to go shoot up a military facility in Saco.
There have been complaints. Police took complaints that he threatened to shoot up this National Guard facility in Saco. Are we able to get those photos of him? There we go. That was from last night at the bowling alley. It's clear that he has baggy clothes on, so the concern is that he has plenty of ammunition in there as well. And his car was left in Lisbon. That is where the connection is in between Lewiston and Lisbon. So we don't know if he's on foot, in another car. It's unclear where he is and if he still has a weapon on him.
Chilling photos. People were in there enjoying their evening last night when he went in there and allegedly opened fire. We're starting to get words that maybe there was some kind of a child's party, or the night was for young people there.
Yep.
We'll be getting those kind of details as we roll along. The shooting is also attracting attention from all around the nation. President Biden was briefed about the incident before a state dinner at the White House last night. He'll continue to get updates as the situation unfolds. And the FBI says it continues to work with Maine authorities and is ready to assist with any resources the state may need, including help for the victims. I understand the ATF is also getting involved, so this is turning out to be a big national effort.
Right. If anybody needs information about their loved ones, there is a reunification center set up in Auburn. This is where witnesses and people who were involved in this traumatic, tragic event, they were first taken there to be safe and to give the police their statements as witnesses. This is located at the Auburn Middle School, 38 Falcon Drive. So if you're looking for family members, that is the place to seek out information.
Certainly there are people up in this area that have family down there too.
Absolutely. The national media, of course, is covering this en masse. This is a huge national story. We don't know if there's been anything like this in definitely Maine, but in the entire Northeast.
Yeah, I don't recall any. We've seen them watch these things unfold all around the country, hoping it doesn't happen here, but
yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. ABC's Ika Jachi is in Washington with the latest details surrounding this incident right here in Maine.
This morning, a mass shooting tragedy unfolding in Lewiston, Maine, the state's second largest city. Police responding to shootings in at least 2 locations.
There are multiple scenes in the city, to include multiple hospitals, a lot of witnesses we're speaking with.
Law enforcement identifying 40-year-old Robert Card as a person of interest. Authorities say he has a history of military service, is a firearms instructor, and was treated at a mental health facility over the summer after allegedly saying that he was hearing voices.
If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way.
The first call came in around 7 o'clock from a bowling alley hosting a youth night for a kids' bowling league. One witness saying she heard a loud bang before her father, a retired cop, corralled her and her family into a corner.
I kind of laid on top of her, and my mom was kind of on top of me.
Riley Dumont was bowling with her 11-year-old daughter when she heard several shots. During the chaos, she said she saw 3 or 4 bodies on the ground. The second shooting scene, a local restaurant about 4 miles from the bowling alley. Card on the run overnight, triggering a shelter-in-place over in Lewiston and neighboring Lisbon, Maine, where police say they found this white Subaru believed to be owned by the suspect. The car seen with the door open and lights on. Sources say hundreds of federal, state, and local law enforcement are assisting in this active investigation. Police as far south as New Hampshire setting up roadblocks, trying to confine Card in case he's on the run. Authorities earlier releasing these surveillance images showing the gunman at one of the shooting locations.
Looks like to me an AR-15 or some version of it. Looks like to me that he's got some sort of extended magazine. I mean, typically those weapons, you can maybe shoot up to 25 or 30 rounds with a standard magazine.
President Joe Biden and Attorney General Merrick Garland have been briefed. The White House releasing a statement offering full federal support in the wake of this horrific attack. Lewiston is a relatively small city of 36,000 people, which experts say could be an advantage to investigators.
I think it really increases the odds that somebody knows who the shooter is, because you're going to probably, or do have, survivors in each location, I presume. So with that, you can start tracking this guy.
Authorities didn't reveal a motive overnight. Maine Governor Janet Mills releasing a statement urging all people in the area to follow the directions of state and local law enforcement. Also, Lisbon schools have been canceled for Thursday. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Boy, just a horrifying scene. You're seeing people running for cover, you know, trying to ferry their kids away from the area. Just can only imagine what folks down in that area are going through.
Yeah. I did see another interview on the national level from our ABC affiliates. One man had just gotten there 10 minutes before, and he ran down down the bowling lane and hid in the bowling machine and just listened to it for the 10 minutes.
Where do you go?
Right.
You know?
Yep. He said it took about 10 minutes for police to arrive. But no, I mean, there was no place to go. He said he was alone when he arrived. Okay. Senator Angus King weighed in after reports of the shooting started surfacing. His office said, quote, Senator King is deeply sad for the city of Lewiston and all those worried about their family, friends, and neighbors. He's receiving regular updates, awaits further details from local authorities, and will be headed directly to home to Maine once the Senate's final vote is held today, end quote.
I'm sure we'll be hearing from other top officials as the day rolls along. We'll certainly continue monitoring the events as they continue to unfold. This morning, we'll have another live update from down there in about maybe 20 minutes or so. In the meantime, let's turn things over to Devin Biggs just to check out our weather forecast for the day.
Alrighty, thank you very much. We've made it to Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. As we get into things this morning, overall, not too bad out here as we start things off. Just a few clouds are developing in a few spots, though. Mainly tracking from the north to the south. Overall, we will be under a mostly cloudy sky today. We're dry today, but chances for rain will be on the way later on tonight. Let's zoom things out now and give you the bigger picture. Again, we're watching some chances of rain. It's well off to the west for now. And for us today, it'll be just the clouds and that'll be about it. And again, the rain chances move in for us later on tonight. Otherwise, though, clouds moving through today. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, but the chances for rain move in later on tonight and in parts of early Friday morning. So we'll be watching for this as it does develop over time, especially by that time frame. As for the winds, not a big deal for today. We're roughly at around 5 miles per hour or less. Notice will the winds stay rather relaxed until about Friday before they start to increase to around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that'll be about it. So for today, we have lower 70s under a mostly cloudy sky, and that southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, lower 50s, mostly cloudy with rain showers on the way, and that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin.
Thank you, Devin. So there have been plenty of school cancellations in southern Maine, obviously, but there are some up here now. The area in Skowhegan, schools have been canceled in Skowhegan, Norridgewock, Canaan, Smithfield, Mercer, and Cornville in Somerset County. So we'll keep you updated if more schools cancel as the day goes on.
Kind of spreading out from the Lewiston area now, and you never know where this guy is. They found his car in Lisbon, but he could be anywhere at this point.
Right, and that was not long after the shootings.
Everyone should remain vigilant today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, the time now is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll continue our coverage of the mass shooting along with the rest of the morning news, including the latest from Augusta.
Don't go away. We'll have more news right after this.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Healing Hands Massage in Hamden provides professional massage services tailored specifically for our clients. Whether you're looking for relief from chronic pain, stiffness, or just want to treat yourself to a day of relaxation, Healing Hands Massage is the place for you.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Ready for that new kitchen? Get inspired by the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Look who's coming to GMA this week. Shark Tank's Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, is here live. YouTube's super phenom, Ms. Rachel, is here live.
Hello!
And this morning, we're giving away World Series tickets live. Could they be yours on Good Morning America?
Welcome to Harvey High. Today's subject, anatomy.
Name a part of Steve Harvey that a woman might want to kiss.
Your six-pack.
The six-pack? Does she know who Steve Harvey is? You got to dig for it, but it's in there.
Get schooled with Family Feud.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7.
Welcome back, everyone. The legislature's Health and Human Services Committee met on Wednesday to talk about issues plaguing the state's public guardianship system. The committee hearing was scheduled after it was reported that 8 adults under public guardianship died under unclear circumstances. Lawmakers heard testimony from probate court judges, advocacy groups, and DHHS on what changes are needed to provide a safer environment for adults in the state's care. There is currently a law requiring any deaths of people under state guardianship to be reported to the Health and Human Services Committee. According to committee members, that has never happened.
It appeared that historically this was not occurring. Part of our goal here today in sort of examining that and whether or not there might be a means by which to modernize that standard.
DHHS says they have reviewed the 8 adult deaths, and they say many of them had severe conditions like cancer, dementia, and traumatic brain injuries.
The Maine Ethics Commission will not move forward with an investigation into Senate President Troy Jackson's residency. Our Augusta reporter, Corey Bouchard, has the story.
A request for the Maine Ethics Commission to investigate Senate President Troy Jackson was made last month by Representative John Andrews, a Republican from Paris, citing concerns about Jackson's residency after he purchased a home in Augusta with an FHA loan. The Maine Ethics Commission heard testimony from both Representative Andrews and Senate President Jackson before voting unanimously not to investigate any further.
I know this is not going to end this by any shape or form. But I look forward to keeping the record straight, continuing to fight for the people of the state of Maine, and not throwing these pirates and stones at other members.
Representative Andrews agrees that this issue is not over and urges U.S. Attorney Darcy McElwee to investigate.
There's a lot of pieces that are worthy of investigation. The Ethics Commission voted not to investigate. But I think by doing that, they have declared, they've declared for the state of Maine that Troy Jackson's primary residence is in the Allagash. Therefore, when he signed a federal housing authority loan, he signed that his principal residence was in Augusta. I think that determines that that wasn't true when he signed it.
In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, meanwhile, starting yesterday, more than 100 new laws here in Maine are going into effect. They range from small rules and regulations to major policy changes. A law allowing physicians to provide abortions after 22 to 24 weeks is one of them. Previously, this was only allowed if the mother's health was in danger. Another law allows cities and towns to provide naloxone in public places such as municipal buildings, libraries, and more. In transportation, a new law instructs drivers to slow down or if it's safely possible, to move to a non-adjacent lane when passing any disabled vehicle on the side of the road. And the Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry is also implementing a new open burning law requiring one-day permits for larger bonfires, campfires, and other recreational fires that exceed 3 feet by 3 feet. The new law also states that if a red flag warning is issued by the National Weather Service, no recreational fires are allowed.
We don't want people to think that they can't have recreational campfires on their property anymore. They just, if they keep it small, they won't need this additional permit. But if they're going to have a large one, they will need the permit.
These permits are free and can be obtained at maineburnpermit.com after the 9 a.m. fire danger report during the day. You have to wait for that to come out to figure out what kind of day it's going to be. They're okay with campfires if you're cooking, but nothing bigger.
In other news now, you got to scroll for me. We start with a scary moment for construction workers yesterday afternoon in Clinton when police say a car passed a flagger, triggering a head-on collision with another vehicle traveling through the construction zone. Maine DOT workers were repairing the shoulders along Route 100 with the right lane going southbound into Clinton blocked off. Clinton police say shortly after noon, a red Subaru traveling southbound towards the road work passed a car that had stopped in front of the flagger. The red Subaru then drove straight on into oncoming traffic, hitting a black Hyundai head-on.
There was a possibility that they might have experienced a medical event. We don't know that for sure right now. But he did swerve around the line of traffic, avoided them, and then hit the person head-on that was headed northbound on Route 100.
According to Officer Chouinard, the 2 victims suffered only minor injuries and no construction workers were hurt.
All right.
All right, the time now is 6:19. After the break, Mainers will soon be asked if they want to create a new power company that would be a consumer-owned utility.
Starting today, we'll hear from both sides on that issue. Also, the latest on the Israeli war and the search for a new House Speaker. Those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
Winter is coming. Make sure your roof is at peak performance with Peak Performance Roofing. With over 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, our professionals provide quality craftsmanship and expertise that you can rely on. We are fully insured and work closely with your insurance company to make the process seamless for you. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Peak Performance Roofing today to schedule your free estimate. 416-8301. Peak Performance Roofing. Your roof is our priority.
There's too much uncertainty around Pine Tree Power.
Business leaders say it will mean higher rates with no guarantee of better service.
It will mean tremendous uncertainty for workers, say Maine's labor leaders.
Maine's sportsmen warn it will jeopardize Maine's outdoor way of life.
And Governor Mills says, let's not gamble with our future. Vote no on question 3.
Please join leading Maine voices and vote no on 3.
It's a bad idea for Maine.
Welcome back, everyone. Ballot referendum question 3 is one of the most contentious in Maine's history. It asks voters to say yes or no to the takeover of Maine's investor-owned utilities, CMP and Versant Power, and the installation of a new publicly owned utility called Pine Tree Power. We spoke to folks on both sides of that hot-button issue, and today we bring you our conversation with Maine Senator Nicole Grochowski, who represents those who want Mainers to vote yes on question 3.
Senator, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Let's dive right into it. So first, I did read that you all explored other models when you were sort of creating the plan for Pine Tree Power. So if you could talk briefly about sort of what other models you looked at and why they were valid for the state of Maine.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
So Maine actually has 10 consumer-owned utilities already, and they serve people that live in 98 communities in Maine. So we could look right in our own backyard for some great examples. One near and dear to where I live and to my heart is Eastern Maine Electric Co-op, which provides great service, and they pay 9 cents a kilowatt hour for their rates, whereas us here in the Versant territory pay 13.1 cents. So we know that the service can be great and that the bills can be lower with a consumer-owned utility.
So speaking of the bills, first things first, the statute as it's written sets out this unfit to serve designation that must first be met by utilities before before the legislation is triggered, and then you're able to sort of take them over. So talk a little bit about how that process works. How do you actually initiate this designation that then allows the takeover of CMP and Versant?
Well, actually, to be clear, when voters vote yes on November 7th, that actually is what triggers the beginning of the process. We would elect a board next year. That board would appoint additional board members, and they would move forward with the purchase price with the utilities to buy those and for us to own and operate them. The fitness to serve standards are actually standards that we think should be in place in general for utilities. We know the Pine Tree Power Company can meet those standards. They include things like reliability, cost, customer service, interconnection of renewable energy. So we know the Pine Tree Power can meet those standards. We also know that Central Maine Power and Versant are not currently meeting those standards.
Okay. And so speaking of cost to consumers, Pine Tree Power, definitely boasts that more affordable bills, but between sort of the high acquisition costs that are purported to be what we'd be facing, plus a couple other areas where consumers would absorb costs, like the high likelihood of litigation with the takeover and the absorption of some staff members that the PUC is going to mandate. How can Mainers feel assured that in fact they are going to save money?
Well, I think the biggest way or the best way I could explain this is thinking about going from a high cost rent to owning your own home and having a low interest mortgage. So what we'll do when we buy these two utilities is we will be able to pay off the debt with 2 to 4% interest. Right now, every time the utility makes an investment, we're paying 8 to 14% interest. So a lot of money is leaving just on that fact alone. Now, in the beginning, you talked about models that we looked at. We also looked at a lot of places where these transitions have happened, going from for-profit corporations running electricity grids to nonprofit, locally controlled companies like the Pine Tree Power Company. And we found in every one of those instances, costs went down. You know, our opponents like to bring up New York a lot. Their costs went down from day one, 20%, and it has stayed that way.
And finally, because I think we're running out of time a little bit here, I wanted to just ask you if you could touch on one more point in terms of making the case for a yes vote on question 3. What is that one additional point that you would bring up?
Absolutely. We know that Maine people are suffering with bad service and very high costs, some of the highest in the country. We know that consumer ownership works here in Maine and around the country. 25% of Americans actually have consumer-owned utilities. And we know this is our best chance to invest in our future, to bring back local control, and to not have foreign corporations and foreign governments actually owning our critical infrastructure. Maine can do this, and I hope that Mainers will vote yes on November 7th on question 3, because we need to take back control of our grid.
And real quickly, because I think we have a little bit of time left, job loss is always a factor for Maine people. So talk a little bit about the job security of folks who are already working for CMP and Versant.
Yeah, so our line workers are doing a great job with the resources they have, and they would get to keep their jobs. And in fact, they get a retention bonus because we know that those are the folks that keep the lights on. We are looking to get rid of the CEOs and the corporate boards that don't even meet in the state of Maine and keep the workers that we know and trust.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and adding a little additional insight for our viewers. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, you'll hear from stakeholders who want Mainers to vote no on question 3.
You can watch that tonight on ABC 7 or tomorrow morning.
Oh, yes, excuse me.
When we're back.
Right, yeah.
So,
tomorrow is today, today is tomorrow.
something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the time now is 6:27.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast. Looks like a pretty nice day.
Alrighty, we've made it to Thursday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. As we get into things this morning, again, we got clouds developing across the region. It's a little bit of a dreary start with the clouds, but some areas will be seeing some sunshine on and off today, so that's some good news to report. There's some sunshine will be possible on and off, but look at this big setup we have right about it here. A lot of cold fronts and fronts in general just setting up shop, causing some snow to develop up in the Dakotas this morning. An early taste of winter for them, especially in the parts of Canada as well. Other spots seeing some rain this morning as well. For us, we have a chance for rain in our forecast coming up, but we'll have to wait until tonight for those chances to kind of take place. But as I would say, though, there's some clouds taking place. We'll have some sunshine peeking out from time to time as well. Later on tonight, the clouds really do begin to increase. Some rain showers by early Friday morning will push those through. And then by early Friday morning, maybe a break in the clouds to reveal some sunshine for a bit. Maybe some rain showers in the northern parts of the state. The southern parts of the state, maybe just some clouds, and that'll be about it. And we'll keep that going in parts of Friday night as well. Maybe a few showers trying to sneak down as we head towards early Saturday morning. We'll keep an eye on that. But otherwise, though, running this all the way through at least Sunday. And again, maybe up to a half an inch of rain possible for the Caribou area in the northern parts of the state, but that's about it there. While farther down toward the south, not much of anything meaningful, maybe a tenth of an inch of rain at best, and that'll be about it there. Otherwise, so maybe some wind, not so much today, though, roughly up to around 5 miles per hour at best, and that'll be about it. So the winds will be behaving themselves today. Tomorrow, it's still not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour for the winds, and these are just wind gusts, so that'll be about it. The sustained winds look to be rather lower as we do move forward. As our average high temperature is now 54 degrees, lower 70s today and tomorrow, middle 70s as we head towards Saturday, and then we cool off, lower 50s Sunday to Monday, middle 40s so Tuesday and Wednesday, as it really starts to feel like fall around here before you know it. So as for today, lower 70s under a mostly cloudy sky and a southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way, and a south breeze at around 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, lower 70s and a mostly cloudy sky, southwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. We'll be partly cloudy on Saturday with highs in the mid-70s, lower 50s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain showers are possible on Monday with highs in the low 50s.
Every night is pizza night at Dragonfire Pizza. From wings, salads, and sides to our specialty wood-fired pizzas. You'll find everything you need to satisfy any craving by the slice or by the pie. A little slice of heaven is waiting for you at Dragonfire Pizza, Mill Mall, Ellsworth.
So we've lived in this house coming up 23 years. We just bought the tractor, and I haven't any idea how we survived without it.
We're trying to rebuild the rock wall on this new property. She says, pick that rock up and put it here. No, it'll look better if you turn it this way. No, we're gonna need to move it over there 5 feet.
I would come to him and say, can you do this for me? And he'd kind of, do the, ugh. But now he has a tractor. He's much more motivated.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
I got hurt in a car accident, and I'm worried the insurance company is trying to take advantage of me.
Fight fire with fire and call the twos.
Lowry and Associates got me $300,000 for my car accident.
We win for you.
When visiting Maine, there are a few must-dos. Be a foodie. Relax on the water. Share your experiences. And start a shopping adventure at one of 17 Rennie's locations throughout Maine.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
The Old Mill Pub in Skowhegan is an historic restaurant and bar overlooking the Kennebec River. Enjoy the atmosphere while dining on local handcrafted pub fare, as well as Maine beers and craft cocktails. Also offering bar and catering services for your event or holiday party.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
We now turn to the new Speaker of the House. He's second in line to the presidency. Many people are asking, who is Mike Johnson? Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
After more than 3 weeks, the House has finally elected a Speaker, Congressman Mike Johnson of Louisiana.
The Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Having served only 6.5 years in Congress, he has the least experience of any speaker in 140 years. Johnson is known for his conservative views and led efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results.
The country demands strong leadership of this body, and we must not waver.
He's earned the support of former President Trump, who is taking credit for Johnson's win.
This time yesterday, nobody was thinking of Mike, and then we put out the word, and now he's the Speaker of the House.
Congressman Matt Gaetz nicknaming him MAGA Mike Johnson.
If you don't think that moving from Kevin McCarthy to MAGA Mike Johnson shows the ascendance of this movement and where the power in the Republican Party truly lies, then you're not paying attention.
Johnson now in a crucial role for the 2024 election certification, but President Biden says he's not concerned.
Just like I was not worried that the last guy would be able to overturn the election.
The Biden campaign using Johnson's win to garner support, sending out a fundraising email saying it only underscores why it's more important than ever that we win by just as big and decisive of a margin as we did in 2020. The first vote under Speaker Johnson yesterday was a resolution supporting Israel. The House must also take up funding for Ukraine, something Johnson has questioned in the past. Another crucial task is a looming government shutdown, with government funding set to expire November 17th. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Well, now to the Middle East. Israeli troops launched a brief ground raid into northern Gaza overnight. Israel says troops hit several militant targets in order to prepare the battlefield before a widely expected ground invasion. Iranian-backed militants have been launching attacks in recent days on U.S. troops in the region, but the focus remains on the hostages being held in Gaza. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, possible movement in the effort to bring home more than 220 hostages, including Americans, taken by Hamas militants during the October 7th attack in Israel. Qatar's prime minister says negotiations to release hostages are progressing. It comes as Israel delays its ground invasion of Gaza for now, amid significant pressure from the White House urgently pushing for more time to free hostages.
Israel has the right, and I would add responsibility, to respond to the slaughter of their people. But that does not lessen the need to operate in line with the laws of war.
President Biden says he spoke with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu again yesterday about the hostages, foreign nationals wishing to leave Gaza, and the importance of focusing on what comes after this crisis. Biden also called for an end to attacks by Israeli settlers on Palestinians in the West Bank, a territory larger than Gaza, home to about 3 million Palestinians.
I continue to be alarmed about extremist settlers attacking Palestinians in the West Bank, pouring gasoline on fires.
In Gaza, neighborhoods are in shambles, and the healthcare system is collapsing after more than 2 weeks of Israeli airstrikes. Local reports say 12 of 35 hospitals are no longer functioning, with more facilities running out of fuel for generators and medicine in short supply.
The hospital door is open, but the health care is not provided. If the fuel is zero, simply the doctors and the nurses will go home, and the hospital will turn to big morgue.
Only 8 trucks of humanitarian aid got into Gaza yesterday. Before the war, more than 400 trucks arrived daily. The UN says its operations in Gaza could shut down in the coming hours if fuel is not delivered. The organization says its departure would end a lifeline for Palestinians in the war zone. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
All right. When we return, we will we'll return to Lewiston, where the search for a mass shooter continues.
The very latest as Good Morning Maine continues.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary, call now to see how a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan could get you some big benefits, including this all-in-one WellCare Spendables debit card to use for over-the-counter health items. Find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage plus extra benefits. A WellCare Medicare Advantage plan is designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, coverage for prescription drugs, dental, vision and hearing, and the WellCare Spendables debit card to make getting the coverage you need more convenient. The WellCare Spendables debit card can be used for over-the-counter health items. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan with a $0 or low monthly plan premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 or low monthly plan premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-877-282-3827 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, and we make them easy to use so you can support your best health. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free guide will provide information to make a smart choice for your health care coverage. Just call 1-877-282-3827. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information, so call 1-877-282-3827. Call today.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, there was some major breaking news overnight, some terrible breaking news overnight about a deadly mass shooting down in southern Maine. And it happened a little after 7 o'clock, or a little before 7 o'clock in Lewiston. Someone walked into at least 2 businesses there and opened fire with some kind of an assault rifle. And Emma, at this point, they're saying that perhaps more than 20 people dead, dozens injured in that. And right now, they're still looking for the man believed to be responsible.
The last press gathering was held at around 11 p.m. last night, and at that point, Maine Public Safety Commissioner Michael Saschuk says they didn't want to confirm the amount of casualties and injured, but other major news outlets have been reporting that they've contacted officials and they have confirmed that 22 deaths seems to be the common number and around 50 injuries. And this is between the Smenji's Bar and Grill and the Round and Spare Time Recreation. These are two different locations in Lewiston. This person of interest is Robert Card. We haven't really learned that much new information. All we know is that he's still at large and likely still armed.
Yeah, we've been down in Lewiston all night long providing coverage of this. Our reporter Devin Dagnall is down there right now covering it for any latest developments. Let's turn things over to Devin now to get the very latest on that mass shooting down in Lewiston last night. Devin, are you there?
Thank you, Emma and Craig. I'm still here on Main Street in Lewiston, and the only way I can describe the feeling is eerie. As this manhunt continues for Robert Card, investigators still are unaware of his whereabouts. The investigation started last night when, just after 7 p.m., it is a suspected Card open-fired in two locations, one at Schmengi's restaurant and at Spare Time Recreation, which is just down the road from where I am right now. An active shelter-in-place order has been issued for the area as investigators once again do not know where Card is. There are reports that his vehicle was found in Lisbon, a few miles from here at Miller Park. A press conference was held last night by Maine State Commissioner. Let's take a look at that.
The delay in coming here with you now is simply because we want to confirm information from our end. We want to make sure the information we're giving you and the information that goes out to the general public is accurate. So we do have some information here that we will release. It is here on the podium. And this is a general caution to the public that approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983 of Bowdoin. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way.
An official death toll has not yet been issued by investigators, but it's estimated anywhere from 15 to 20 people were killed in the shooting and anywhere from 50 to 60 were injured. There is going to be another press conference later this morning at 10:30 at Lewiston City Hall. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Back to you, Emma and Craig.
We should get a lot more information around 10:30 when they have the next press conference. Let's put a picture of Robert Card up real quick if you can. This man is apparently a trained firearms instructor. There's reports that he had some issues with mental health. In fact, he was committed for a couple of weeks over the summer. He was talking about hearing voices telling him to shoot up a military base. That search is now underway. And Emma, a lot of schools are closed, certainly down in the Lewiston area, but we're now hearing about some closures up around Skowhegan and that area because this manhunt really is statewide at this point, and he could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he was last in Lisbon shortly after the first two initial shootings at 7 p.m. last night. Yeah. So it's been almost 12 hours. And yes, there are plenty of shootings. I mean, obviously in the area that it happened down there, but we are seeing cancellations in our area in Somerset County. Skowhegan, Norridgewock, Canaan, Smithfield, Mercer, and Cornville have canceled school today. Of course, also Auburn, Skowhegan, and Lewiston and Lisbon, we're seeing that the Auburn Middle School is actually being used as the reunification center. This is the place that witnesses and people who survived this incredibly tragic event. They had to go here directly afterwards so that they could give statements to police and help them try to find this man. This is also where people are encouraged to reach out to go to if they still haven't heard from family members. This is at 38 Falcon Drive in Auburn. Again, that's the Auburn Middle School.
Still a fluid situation. It's also attracting attention from national media, as you can understand. One of the biggest mass shootings we've heard of in a long time. Let's turn things over to Fox News' Matt Napolitano for more on what they found.
Mass casualties and dozens of injuries in the city of Lewiston, Maine, roughly 35 miles north of Portland. This after a series of mass shootings across multiple locations, including a bar and a bowling alley Wednesday night. Law enforcement telling residents and businesses to lock their doors and shelter in place, releasing these photos of an alleged gunman.
Robert R. Card. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon, and we are now also asking residents in Lisbon to shelter in place.
Early reports cited a possible third shooting at a Walmart distribution center, but in a statement, Walmart said a shooting did not occur on their property.
Everything needs to be unturned. Every stone needs to be looked under. Every inch of the shooting needs to be looked at.
The FBI is assisting Maine State Police with the investigation.
We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine.
When there's an active shooter event, a mass casualty such as this tragedy, there are all hands on deck. You've got multiple law enforcement agencies, locally, federally. Everyone has a different role and responsibility.
Lewiston Public Schools superintendent canceling classes Thursday. The U.S. Attorney General and the White House have been briefed on the shooting.
My insides are just really sick over this. This is an overwhelming situation.
President Biden telling Maine's governor and senators the state has the full support of the federal government as the investigation continues. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Just a terrible situation. We'll certainly have a full update coming up at the top of the hour. In the meantime, we're going to switch gears and talk about the weather. Looking like a fairly nice day. It's hard to get excited about anything this morning, but
seems like it.
Yeah.
Here's meteorologist Evan Biggs.
Alrighty, thank you very much. We've made it to Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. As we get into things this morning, overall, not too bad out here as we start things off. Just a few clouds are developing in a few spots, though. Mainly tracking from the north to the south. Overall, we will be under a mostly cloudy sky today. We're dry today, but chances for rain will be on the way later on tonight. Let's zoom things out now and give you the bigger picture. Again, we're watching some chances of rain. It's well off to the west for now. And for us today, it'll be just the clouds, and that'll be about it. And again, the rain chances move in for us later on tonight. Otherwise, though, clouds moving through today. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, but the chances for rain move in later on tonight and in parts of early Friday morning. So we'll be watching for this as it does develop over time, especially by that time frame. As for the winds, not a big deal for today. Roughly at around 5 miles per hour or less. Notice the winds stay rather relaxed until about Friday before they start to increase to around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that'll be about it. So for today, we have lower 70s under a mostly cloudy sky, and that southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, lower 50s, mostly cloudy with rain showers on the way, and that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer. When Dover Audiology wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Come to Dover Audiology and find out where people from Kittery to Eastport go to get their hearing aids. Knowledgeable, friendly, and reasonable. Dover Audiology is your best place for hearing solutions.
Choosing Miracle Ear was a great decision. Like when I decided to host family movie nights. Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs. Now I enjoy every moment. The quiet ones and the loud ones.
Make a sound decision. Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out Half Off Fun from foxbangor.com.
Healing Hands Massage in Hamden provides professional massage services tailored specifically for our clients. Whether you're looking for relief from chronic pain, stiffness, or just want to treat yourself to a day of relaxation, Healing Hands Massage is the place for you.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off fun from foxbangor.com.
Local news weeknights at 6 with Beth Jones and Peter Dubois on ABC 7.
Welcome back, everyone. The United Auto Workers Union announced it has reached a tentative contract agreement with one of the big three U.S. automakers on Wednesday. The union says it secured a tentative deal with Ford, which now needs the approval of the 57,000 union members.
The proposed agreement includes a 25% base wage increase for workers. Workers will get an 11% pay increase upon ratification. The agreement could signal the end of the 6-week strike targeting select factories run by Ford.
What started at 3 plants at midnight on September 15th has become a national movement. We knew we were getting close, but we also knew the companies needed a major push if we were going to make sure we got every penny possible in this agreement.
We're going back to work at Ford to keep the pressure on Stellantis and GM. The last thing they want is for Ford to get back to full capacity while they mess around and lag behind.
Well, the United Auto Workers Union continues to negotiate with General Motors and Stellantis. We'll keep you updated on that.
The long-awaited auction of the Perk plant in Orrington took place yesterday, but didn't end the way stakeholders wanted. A small group of bidders came to the site in Orrington to bid on the real estate and personal property as a whole. Employees hoped someone would buy the plant and reopen, saving jobs that have been furloughed since the stoppage of work in September.
The bad news yesterday is that no one came in with a minimum bid and the auction ended up failing. They now will wait until November 2nd, where they will try again. They are certainly hoping that they can get a buyer and get that reopened and maybe get some workers back to work there in Orrington.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, now let's check in with meteorologist Evan Biggs for one final look at that full forecast.
Alrighty, we've made it to Thursday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. Discover Joe's Market, 102 Garland Street in Bangor. Your one-stop shop for groceries, fine wines, and craft beers. Quality and variety await you at Joe's. As we get into things this morning, again, we got clouds developing across the region. It's a little bit of a dreary start with the clouds, but some areas will be seeing some sunshine on and off today, so that's some good news to report. There's some sunshine will be possible on and off, but look at this big setup we have right about it here. A lot of cold fronts and fronts in general just setting up shop, causing some snow to develop up in the Dakotas this morning. An early taste of winter for them, especially in the parts of Canada as well. Other spots seeing some rain this morning as well. For us, we have a chance for rain in our forecast coming up, but we'll have to wait until tonight for those chances to kind of take place. But as I would say, though, just some clouds taking place. We'll have some sunshine peeking out from time to time as well. Later on tonight, the clouds really do begin to increase. Some rain showers by early Friday morning will push those through. And then by early Friday morning, maybe a break in the clouds to reveal some sunshine for a bit. Maybe some rain showers in the northern parts of the state. The southern parts of the state, maybe just some clouds, and that'll be about it. And we'll keep that going into parts of Friday night as well. Maybe a few showers trying to sneak down as we head towards early Saturday morning. We'll keep an eye on that. But otherwise, though, running this all the way through at least Sunday. And again, maybe up to a half an inch of rain possible for the Caribou area in the northern parts of the state, but that's about it there. While farther down toward the south, not much of anything meaningful, maybe a tenth of an inch of rain at best, and that'll be about it there. Otherwise, so maybe some wind, not so much today, though, roughly up to around 5 miles per hour at best, and that'll be about it. So the winds will be behaving themselves today. Tomorrow, it's still not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour for the winds, and these are just wind gusts, so that'll be about it. The sustained winds look to be rather lower as we do move forward. As our average high temperature is now 54 degrees, lower 70s today and tomorrow, middle 70s as we head towards Saturday, and then we cool off, lower 50s Sunday to Monday, middle 40s so Tuesday and Wednesday, as it really starts to feel like fall around here before you know it. So as for today, lower 70s under a mostly cloudy sky and a southwest wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, rain showers on the way, and a south breeze at around 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, lower 70s and a mostly cloudy sky, southwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Joe's Market. We'll be partly cloudy on Saturday with highs in the mid-70s, lower 50s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain showers are possible on Monday with highs in the low 50s.